What's up, everybody? It's Scott here. Welcome back to my channel. So in this very, very special video, guys, I'm going to do something we have never done before. I'm actually going to take you behind the scenes of my actual YouTube channel and show you exactly what I'm doing to turn 7,000 subscribers. That's it. Just 7,000 subscribers, not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, definitely not even millions of subscribers, but just 7,000 subscribers into a $10,000 per month business. If you're a coach or a therapist and you do not have a YouTube channel, I want you to recognize and use this as inspiration to show you the value of YouTube, and also for your marketing as a therapist or coach, even just a general business owner in general. If you are not using YouTube, make sure by the end of this video, you do two things. Number one, go ahead and start a YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about the content that I actually create on my YouTube channel as well, to give you inspiration for the content for your videos and channel as well, and how you can follow this system and turn just very minimal subscribers into a predictable monthly income. So the second thing, if you do have a YouTube channel, but you're finding your content is not turning into paid clients, which, let's just be frank, that's the whole idea of having a YouTube channel, to turn content into paying clients. Make sure you followed my advice in regards to the content that you can start to upload into your YouTube channel today and turn content into a high loyal follower and turn that follower into a paid client. So we've never done this before. Make sure you grab a notepad and pen. I'm going to take you straight over to my YouTube channel, show you exactly how I'm turning just 7,000 subscribers into $10,000 per month. Let's do it. So we're over on my YouTube channel now, and as you can see here, this is us right here, Scott Jansen. And as you can see, I've got 7,003 subscribers. So this is my homepage. Let me take you over to the videos, and guys, check this out. Now, when it comes to creating content, I will be answering this question a little bit later in this video, but I want you to understand one thing, especially when it comes to YouTube. If a client has the option to go onto Google, to go onto Facebook, or to go onto YouTube and research something, maybe based on their own problem or their pain in their life, more than likely your clients are either going to find you on things like Facebook, Google, but definitely on YouTube. I don't know about you, but the last time I actually looked for an answer to my problem, I didn't really go to Google. I definitely didn't go to Facebook. But what I did do is go over to YouTube. Thanks to YouTube, there are millions of videos, how-to videos, educational videos. And for us as therapists and coaches that are fixing specific pains and problems in our client's life, this is almost like a how-to, meaning that clients are definitely going online trying to find the answers to their problems. So our whole goal with something like YouTube is, why don't we create content? So when someone types into Google or types into YouTube a specific problem that they have, more like a how-to video, how can I overcome smoking? How can I stop having anxiety when I'm at work? Whatever it is, what if your content shows up? But it's not just enough for your content to show up. I'm going to show you how I take my subscriber base here, which is 7,000 subscribers, and turn them into paying clients. So let me show you how I do this. So as you can see here, this is all of the content that I create. And then one of the first things I want you to realize about YouTube, and really any content marketing in general, is consistency. To remain extremely consistent. If you're consistent to uploading just one video a week, maybe 3 videos a week, maybe 1 video a day, consistency goes a long way for the YouTube algorithm. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about how the algorithm works with YouTube. Let's do that in another video. I definitely want to stay on track with where we are today. So as you can see here, these are all my videos. So the last couple of videos I did, this was one just on marketing. This was a student testimonial. This is why we never grow a coaching business locally. The most profitable skill coaches should have. So you should already recognize something. Do you see how specific I am with my videos and the niche that I'm targeting? As you guys know, my company is helping coaches and therapists build a business. So when it comes to YouTube, what I'm doing is I'm staying highly focused and highly niched to help these people. What you don't want to do is start a YouTube channel and create content about everything in general, about life, about therapy, about coaching, about this problem, about this niche, this pain, and it just gets so out of control. So when a client comes to your channel, they have no idea what you're an expert in, which is a great segue into talking about the 3 things your content should always do. So when you're creating content, and guys, it's not even just for YouTube. I even think we use this process for Facebook and LinkedIn as well. But when it comes to creating especially video content, you want to make sure they're doing these 3 things. We are in a unique position as therapists and coaches where our clients, whether it's anxiety niche, it's in the stop smoking niche, it's in the weight loss niche, that there's chances they've probably heard from other therapists and coaches that they can help them, or they've been to another therapist or a coach saying, look, I can help you overcome this, this, and this in your life in just a couple of sessions for this amount of money. And unfortunately, the offer didn't come through, meaning that the client left still with their problem, but out of pocket, which has left a really bad taste in their mouth when it comes to therapy and coaching. So it's definitely your job to come from this position to realize that a lot of your clients have probably seen a therapist or a coach before. There's nothing really unique from you to them, but they've been to a therapist or a coach before and they have been burnt. It's going to take a lot of convincing. And our content does this convincing for us. So the 3 things you want to be making sure that your content does every time. Number 1, show how deep your knowledge goes. I mean, could you imagine coming to my channel? Here I am talking about being the expert coach to help people grow their businesses online, especially therapists and coaches. And all I had was like one video about how deep my knowledge is, about a certain strategy, or about how you can build your business doing X, Y, and Z. And then another video was all about me. And then another video after that was about the NLP qualification of coaching certification that I have. Another video over here was how I built a table from scratch. Another video over here about how I'm redoing a 1964 Ford, whatever it is, you see my point. We want to allow our content, especially on YouTube, to show how deep our knowledge goes. Now, I have to admit, you've got to make sure you've got this niche down right, guys, okay? If you're still struggling with your coaching and therapy niche, come over to our channel, just type in niche, just put it up here, and you'll see me talk about in several videos how to find the right niche. I'm not going to go into that today, but I have to assume you've already got that niche process sorted out. You've found your profitable niche. You know the type of client that you want to be working with, because then this content strategy will definitely help you. So how deep does your knowledge go, guys? To create videos proving your expertise, showing why you're different, how you're differentiated in the market, talking about how problems actually exist in our client's mind, whatever it is, the solution you have, really showing your potential clients are going to be seeing your videos for the first time, how deep your knowledge goes, and then allowing that content to keep them on your channel. There's one big thing with YouTube that it really favors over anything else is how long can we keep a potential subscriber or someone subscribing to your channel for the first time, or your potential clients, how long are they staying on your channel for? Now, this is known as watch time. Basically, guys, the longer clients watch your videos for, the more convinced they're going to be about how deep your knowledge goes. So really proving your expertise, guys, with your video content. So that's number 1. How deep does your knowledge go? Number 2, and my favorite that nobody else talks about this, is we want to be creating content that destroys objections. So at the same time of proving how deep our knowledge goes, what if your content answered your client's most common questions? It destroyed your client's most common objections. So by the time someone does book a strategy call with you, and I'm going to show you very soon how we take this video content and turn it into paying customers via a strategy call, hence my $10,000 plus a month just on YouTube alone, but answering your client's most common objections. So let's say, for example, you're working in the anxiety niche. Now, we know there's going to be a ton of objections when you talk to a potential client about helping them overcome their anxiety. Well, what if instead of having to talk about the same objection, overcome the same objection, phone call after phone call, strategy call after strategy call, your content did it for you? So when I'm going into creating content, guys, here's my biggest trick is using this video and the strategies that I'm talking about to destroy objections. So by the time a client gets on, a potential client, a potential student gets on a phone call with me, all of the objections have been handled. And the great thing about YouTube content, the great thing about YouTube content is I only have to record it once, which means that there could be thousands of people watching my videos per day, having all of their objections, the same most common objections defeated and overcome over and over again. I only have to mention it once. I only have to talk about that one thing in that video. So by the time someone does get on a strategy call with me, which I'll show you very soon, all their objections are handled. Usually their questions are, okay, Scott, I watched your video. That was awesome. I loved how you talked about this. This was really cool. I'm ready to buy. The only question I have is, do you take credit card? And I get that so often. Okay. And it just proves the fact that my videos, I should say, have answered my clients' most common objections. I hardly ever have to talk about objections on the phone. This saves me a ton of time. So number one, show how deep your knowledge goes. At the same time, answer your clients' most common objections. I'm sure you know, after working with that specific client for a long time, the most common objections, write them out and make sure you're talking about them on your video content. Number three, and I'll actually show you where you can find information about this. One of my favorite ones is to answer your clients' most common questions, as I mentioned before. So how deep does your knowledge go? Are you breaking down objections with your content and answering your clients' most common questions? When it comes to creating content, I never think. I don't sit there and rack my brain and think, oh my God, what am I going to create content about? I never do that. I go to the source. There's a couple of websites we can do this from. I'm going to show you one today where you can go. It's free to use. And what it'll do is it'll collect and populate all the data together based on the most common searches that people like with anxiety, or they want to quit smoking, or they want to overcome their weight issues. They're actually Googling on Google. Google has collected all of this data together and pulled it into one website. And what we can do is go to this site, and I'll show you this in a moment, and we can find out the common questions that people are typing into Google, and we can make video content about that. So imagine your content goes from random pieces of content, randomly talking about you, random content that's not turning into paid clients. And now you're showing how deep your knowledge goes. This is number one. Number two, you're answering your clients' most common objections. And number three, by doing those first two things, you're answering your clients' most common questions. Now, I want to point out one thing really cool here. You can see here, like I said, I've only got 7,000 subscribers. So how the hell am I making $10,000 per month? Completely automatic, guys. Okay, that's what's important here. Now, obviously, my income, a lot greater than that per month. This is just from YouTube. I'm not including Facebook. I'm not including referrals. I'm not including LinkedIn. I'm not including my webinars. I'm not including people that dive straight into my program from word of mouth. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. This is just YouTube purely. I'm going to show you how I track this. However, I want to point out one thing. Now, even though we've only got 7,000 subscribers, you'll see my videos. Some of them only have a couple of hundred views, a couple of hundred here, maybe 400 here, 100 here, 200 here. But what you can see is all of these things start to add up. All of these views, all of these videos start to add up. So why, I'll admit, we don't have the biggest view count. What we do have is an extremely high watch time. People watch one video, then they go to the next video, then they go to the next video, and they consume all of my content. And from there, they have two choices. From there, I've convinced them that I'm the expert. I've broken down their objections. I've answered their most common questions by all of these videos, and two things happen. They jump straight into my program, which means I don't have to do a phone call. They're straight into my program. As you guys may be aware, my program cost $1,000, okay? So they jump straight into my program, you know, as by watching my content, or they book a strategy call with me. Because my content has proven my depth of knowledge, it's answered all the objections, it's answered their most common questions. So from here, being consistent with video content, creating a video every 2 to 3 days, uploading it onto YouTube. Now, I'm not going to talk about the titles and the tags and optimization. We'll do that for another video, but I just want to show you the overview here. Creating constant content with those three things in mind and turning this content into paid clients. So how do we take this content that we're starting to create and how do we turn this into paid clients? Well, you want to make sure that you've got a couple of systems in place. I'm actually going to take you over to my Calendly So how do we turn this content into actual paying clients? Well, you want to make sure you've got a couple of systems set up in place. One of the systems, we do need to have some sort of booking system. So I'm going to take you over to my booking system. We use Calendly because it is a free booking system. And what I can do is one of the most important questions that I actually have on a survey on my actual booking system lets me know where my clients are coming from. So we're in the month of October right now. And just in September last month, we had 38 phone calls. Okay, so 38 phone calls. These are strategy calls booked. Okay, these are people that didn't dive into my program straight away, people that actually wanted to book a call. And what I did based on one question, that if you do have a survey, you put this in your survey today, I'll show you this in a moment, I was able to track where my clients have come from. And as a matter of fact, based on last month's tracking, we actually had 13 people that signed up to my program came straight from YouTube. So it was actually a $13,000 just from my YouTube channel, not from the views, not from the subscribers, not from paid ads or anything like that. But what I've done is track the people that have come from YouTube by answering one simple question, which I'll show you, and it allowed me to track how much income per month I'm getting just from YouTube. And it averages out anywhere from 10, and it can actually spike up to about $17,000 to $19,000 per month just from a YouTube channel, guys, just from 7,000 subscribers. So let me take you over to my booking system, show you what that question is, and show you how that's all set up. So I'm in my booking system right now. Like I said, we just use Calendly. This is just a free booking system that we use. And I'm going to take you over to my survey. Now, in order to know how much money you're actually making from your YouTube channel, and in our case, that $13,000 per month in September, I have one question that I make sure is in my survey, okay? And it's very, very simple. It's this question right here. Super simple, but it allows me to track how successful my YouTube channel is. How did you hear about Scott? And what I'm looking for, and I do this at the end of every month, I go back over the last months, whether it's 30 calls, 40 calls, 50 calls, get a notepad and pen, and I write down how many people come from Facebook, how many people came from YouTube, how many people came from word of mouth, how many came from referral, or even an email broadcast. And what does this allow me to do? Well, it allows me to find something that I call, and it's just a fancy name, a fancy coaching name I'm going to give you here. I call it asymmetrical tracking. So what is asymmetry or asymmetrical tracking? It basically means that how can I look at what I'm doing and optimize my time better? You guys would all agree as therapists and coaches, it seems like we've got so much we need to do in order to get clients. And right at the start, that's exactly what's going to happen, because we need to be tracking for asymmetry. No one really even talks about this, but it is so super important. Asymmetry basically means that if I look at my last month's income, whatever that last month's income is, let's say just for example, it's $80,000 for the month. I want to know, where did that $80,000 come from? Did it all come from Facebook? Did a quarter of it come from YouTube? The other quarter come from word of mouth, and the other half come from referrals? Whatever it is, whatever the distribution is. Because what I want to do based on that distribution and what's happened the previous month is focus on the next month where those clients came from. So in this example, we had $13,000 just come from YouTube alone. Okay. Now, what was cool is this was $13,000 worth of people that jumped straight into my program. No strategy calls, which was awesome. Okay. So I found out that we had $13,000 come straight from my YouTube videos. Okay. Which was great. Others came from Facebook. Others came from word of mouth. But then what I did was I looked back over the last month and I noticed an even bigger distribution of YouTube. People kept saying, Scott, I'm seeing you on YouTube month after month after month. So what does that mean when it comes to asymmetry? It means that I can start to double down on YouTube. Why? Because this is where my clients are coming from. If I can make $13,000, $15,000, even $20,000 per month by just uploading 2 to 3 videos per week, creating that content that shows how deep my knowledge is, answers my clients' most common objections, and also answers the most common questions. And I need to make 2 20-minute videos per week and upload them to YouTube, and know those YouTube videos are going to handle all the heavy lifting for me and turn into paid clients. You better believe that's where I'm going to focus my attention. So in order to do this, make sure you've got a Calendly booking or some sort of booking system. Make sure you put this question in. Where are you doing your marketing? If you're just using Facebook, just have Facebook. If you're using different Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, could be Instagram, could be Twitter, whatever platform you're using, make sure you find out where your clients are coming from so you can find that asymmetrical split. So once you start to notice what that is, you can spend less time doing all of the wrong things by doing every social media platform out there and creating content for it, where in fact, all your clients are coming from YouTube. Now you can closely monitor that YouTube channel and put all your content into YouTube. This makes for a better experience for your clients to find you. It frees up so much time in your business and allows you to create a predictable month-by-month business. So guys, that's how I turned 7,000 subscribers, really, really simple, with only a couple of hundred views per video into 10, 15, upwards about $19,000 to $20,000 per month on average by just creating 2 to 3 videos per week. That's not to mention what happens on Facebook, not to mention what happened on LinkedIn. We may talk about that in another video, but I want to show you again and just remind you the value of using YouTube for your business. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do one more thing for me. outside of starting a YouTube channel, make sure you like this video. It really does help me with the YouTube algorithm, but also lets me know if you like and comment this video that you enjoyed the content, and it lets me know what you guys want to hear of most. However, I just realized before we go, I want to answer one of your big common questions that I get often, which is, Scott, where can I get ideas for my content? So look at this as a little bit of a bonus. You guys can thank me later. Let me take you over to that website now and show you where to find the content for your videos. So here I am on a website called Answer the Public, and this is just one of the resources that we use to find the content for our video. So let me just remind you, when it comes to turning subscribers in from your YouTube channel subscribers into paying clients, whether you've got an online program, you're selling a face-to-face service, it really doesn't matter. Drawing them from your content into a booking system or a paid client is the ultimate goal. But what type of content do you create? You know, the understanding of the context of the content itself, but how do you get inspiration and ideas? Well, if we come over to Answer the Public, this is one of the greatest resources we use. It's a free website to use, and all we're going to do is we're on answerthepublic.com up here. Come down to discover what people are asking about. So get into the mind of your client. Remember, your clients are not typing in, how will NLP help me quit smoking? Or how will this help me in my coaching business? Or how will a coach be able to help me find my true passion? Like, people aren't talking with the context of coach, therapist, NLP. They're not looking for that stuff. What they are looking for is answers to their most common problems. Remember, number 3, and this is where we find out what those things are. So as you can see, we use this many times before, but let's look at the word anxiety. Imagine your client is on Google or even on YouTube typing in, I've got anxiety. How do I overcome it? That's what real people are typing. So Answer the Public pulls that data from Facebook. It does YouTube, it does LinkedIn and Google as well, pulls it all in together and gives us the most common searched questions. So we come out of anxiety. Let's just press search. I'll show you how to do this real quick. You get 2 to 3 searches per day on this for free. Don't worry about updating yourself to like a pro plan or anything like that. You can if you want to, but that's going to cost some money. Just get the questions for one day, then come back to the next day and start to record all these answers. So you come down here. Now it'll give you 2 ways to look at the data. I don't like this wheel. What I do is come over to data just on the left-hand side here. And look, it's populated 80 of the most common questions that your clients are asking. What does that mean for you? Now you have 80 pieces of inspirational content to create on your YouTube channel and turn YouTube videos into paying customers exactly the way that we do it. So let's have a look down here. Now, some of these will be out of context. Some you'll have to play around with the content itself. But let's look at this. And you find that the most common things. So if you're stuck wondering, what do I create as far as content? Here is your answer. How anxiety affects you, how anxiety feels, how anxiety affects your relationship, how anxiety ruins relationship. Can anxiety cause pain? Can anxiety cause nausea? And can anxiety cause dizziness? Where does anxiety come from? Where does anxiety stem from? What else do we have? What anxiety do I have? What does anxiety feel like? When anxiety turns to anger, when anxiety hits you, when anxiety gets too much. Guys, you see my point here. This is just an absolute gold trove of things that you can look at to get inspired for your content, to turn these questions into video content. It could even be used for Facebook posts, Facebook Lives. We use this website for all of the content that we create, because what you're doing right now is you're not creating content based on what you want your clients to understand or what you think your clients need to learn, because they're not researching this. They don't think like we do. They don't think like therapists and coaches. They think like general public people who have a problem like anxiety and they want to find a way to overcome it. So what if when they're typing to Google and YouTube, your content shows up first, your posts, your videos, especially on YouTube, and you do such a great job with the content on YouTube, showing how deep your knowledge goes, answering common questions and common objections. And then from there, your client watches your videos over and over and over, is convinced that you're the expert, and now you turn content into paid clients like we do on a monthly basis in my coaching company. So guys, that's it for today. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you comment. If you do have any questions at all, answer them below. I go out of my way to answer all the questions that I can based on the common questions you guys have. And I even turn those questions into content as well. You can see my point there. That's all from me for today. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now, guys.